Hey! Oh, I was already. Come on. I was already live and they give me some pop up thing that I'm supposed to read. Anyway, hello. Good morning. And let's see. Yes. Feeling super inspirational. So I'm having breakfast and I'm writing my haikus and I'm feeling blessed and thankful, of course, because I started by writing my gratitudes. But I just wanted to share a couple of inspirational haikus that I wrote. So, for example, I wish you bounty for this year's harvest in all you have reaped and sowed. So, quick reminder, a haiku is like a bonsai poem. Like imagine a bonsai tree, but a bonsai poem. They're Japanese structured, only 3 lines, 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. So, once again, let me read this to you. I wish you bounty for this year's harvest in all you have reaped and sowed. And so I'm super inspired today. Today's the 21st of November, which is a beautiful number if you follow numerology. Another haiku that I've written already, like 5 of them this morning. So that's a powerful day. I say when I write one haiku, I earned my day, and I've already written 5, and it's like 10:30 in the morning. I'm thankful to build, or I'm grateful to build. So I'm thankful to build off the miracles and all the beauty of life. I mean, think about it. We start out as a miracle. I mean, come on. We know the little sperm and egg story. Come on, that's already a miracle. And there's so many other miracles. So, I mean, reminds me of the old Mac Davis song. Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble. And this is all a mix. I mean, because I'm a very, very mosaic style of writer. That's how come I have to write my haikus, because I'm all over the place, and that's okay. I'm accepting that. I love that, actually, because that's part of my creativity, and I'm thankful for it. So let me read 2 other poems that I've already written this morning. And after the money, after the money. What are the next few ways we can measure success? So, you know, I put this stuff out there because for me, my joy, and I'm very, very thankful to live my joy, even though I wish you a happy harvest, I am thankful to be joyously seeding. I'm thankful to already be sowing through joy. So realistically, the harvest, even if it goes down, if it's starting in joy, it can go down and touch happiness. Or sometimes we can even harvest elation. It's a possibility. Anyway, I'm coming up on 15 years as a YouTuber. I, I have fun with all these titles and things like that. I just say I'm an Astro Prince, and it doesn't matter. But 14 and a half years ago, let's just call it, I put out a video about a book I wrote called Pay Yourself First. That book, Pay Yourself First, is a good book. It's not a great book for everyone. It's a good book for people to read, to really hone in on the basis, a super basis, a structural basis, an energetic, physical, material, structural basis. It's a good book. That said, this is El Poder Protónico. Now, if you follow me for a while, you know I speak several languages, okay? I've lived in many countries, thankfully, but I did put in a lot of effort to do it. This book is my book called Protonic Speaking. In English, it's called Protonic Speaking. And thank you so much. There's, hundreds of stars. Anyway, this book will be coming out whenever it's done. You can see it. It's ready. I've already sold a few just to test the market, and I have to put it out now. And I'm not good at that part. But like I said, my joy is already in the creating. My joy happens when I revisited the translation when I did it in French, and it's called Protonic Speaking in French as well. I kept the French title the same as the English, although the cover is very, very different. It's yellow. I have one around here somewhere. It doesn't matter. But Protonic Speaking, this is my magnum opus to date. My haikus, on the other hand, are where I could write about anything I want. So, like, for example, in my haikus, if I could find my same page where I was. Yes, okay. The first poem of the day was I was out doing pull-ups on the little thing right next to the beach here. I'm in my camping car. So I wrote this poem, and here's the beauty. On my haikus, I could write about anything. I mean, I see a bird crap on someone's hair. I'll write about it, whatever. It doesn't matter. But my books always have to be positive, uplifting, and really trying to embellish somehow or raise the vibration of the people on this amazing earth that we call Gaia. So here's the first one that I wrote. Whether we slacked off or we loosened up, let's bring back manhandling. Now, when I grew up as a young male in Southern California, I grew up we weren't rich. So I grew up sometimes in what some people might call some rough spots. Okay. And you look at people, color, whatever you want to look at it your way. I have my own eyes to see it through. And remember, I've lived in over 10 countries. I've traveled all over this amazing planet to all the places I would like to. And I am super thankful for it. And I know we all have our little algorithm or life screen or radar or whatever. But let me tell you, when I grew up in Southern California, like I said, in some rough spots sometimes, if I saw a little group of cholos or a little group of blacks over there or something like that, I kind of skirted around it. Of course, I had black friends. I remember calling Lamont a nigger because he called me nigger. And so it was all right. It was all cool. So, we have our friends. And when we could joke about this stuff, it's a lot lighter. And it means we understand each other from a deeper level, which I think is beautiful. So, and then I went and I lived in Mexico, and I love Mexicans. So I'm like a reverse racist because I just automatically love Mexicans because I lived in their country and they're such amazing people. And I understand that the ones coming across the border and this and that, and our little egos always like to try and say we're better because they're doing this and that and the other. And remember the story about if you live in a glass house, don't throw stones. I think we all, somehow have maybe a crystal heart, but sometimes our crystal heart becomes so thinned out that it might become like glass. How's that for a beautiful analogy? So nowadays, I'm just this troubadour, poet style, whatever you want to call it. I'm enjoying life. I'm very thankful to have just spent a year and a half in Spain. Amazing stuff. And I'm thankful for all that's going on. And I'm happy. Gosh, I'm so happy for this year's harvest. Oh my gosh. When we can realize, think of the women having their moon phases, okay? In other words, think of the word, a period of time. So they're having their period because we cut off the words way too much and there was so much power in the words. It would really behoove you to read Protonic Speaking. Anyway, so when we think about the women's moon phases, their periods, that cycle that comes around every 28 and a half days, 29 days, whatever it is exactly, who knows for sure. Well, I see it as the way that we men are a little bit more solar somehow. I mean, think about everyone that's doing work. There are more women inside and more men outside, okay? Whatever we want to call the differences, I don't care. If you have a problem with different sexes, that's your problem. I am very happy to see a woman, and I know what it is when I come in contact with a man because I'm a still old-fashioned man. And hey, you know, it is what it is. So for me, it's okay. Manhandling between men, hey, we're men. Sticks and stones may break our bones, but you know, we get over the physical stuff. It's the emotional stuff that leaves the scars. So come on, let's get real. And what I wanted to say with that, and I lost my train of thought. Hey, I'm still human. But the beauty of it all is that I think we do have a heart and we can get deeper with one another. That's cute. A nutter. See, yeah, we should all be a little bit more nuts. How's that? A little bit more crazy because uh, b- beyond all of this thing that just happened in 2020, right? It starts with a C. I guess we're not supposed to say some words nowadays, which is crazy. I mean, because out of every bad thing, we can find good things. I mean, you know, most stuff grows from shit, manure, right? I mean, think about it. It's someone else's shit, though. I mean, I don't know how much stuff grows from our own. Who knows? I haven't experimented, but that's okay. That's someone else's job. Anyway, I am feeling super blessed to live in joy, to be studying kind of every day, all year long, whatever it is that I study. It could be silly stuff. I mean, I've got in my camping car right now, I've got a couple decks of tarot, I've got runes, I've got esoteric books, I've got philosophy, barely, because I'm my own type of philosopher. I haven't read all the greats, but I have my own philosophy of life just from going and seeing so many people in person, living in so many countries, going to so many cafes. So we all have our own little beauty thing going on. Now, I want to read this other poem again. After the money, because here's the question I'm trying to ask people, and it's not that I don't care about your responses, but you know, apparently it helps the algorithm. I'm doing all this stuff for joy, so I'm just giving it out there. I feel like a rock star YouTuber. I don't go back and read the comments normally. It's not that I don't care. It's just like I feel like a rock star poet. You know, I don't think Mick Jagger has a mailing list. You know, I don't think David Bowie ever was like worried about his social media. You know what I mean? It's not that I mean, I understand that that's a tool, but there are other measurements in life. For me, the joy comes in the giving, in the doing, art, the actual art of doing the stuff. That's why, like my other poem that I just wrote, I'm grateful to build off the miracles of all the beauty of life. I mean, think about it. We are so blessed to be on this planet in this transitionary time. This is an amazing time to be on the planet if we really think about it. We have to free ourselves. We have to emancipate ourselves. You know, developing a mindset is a great way to emancipate ourselves. Anyway, the crystal heart thing that I mentioned earlier. You know, no matter is absolutely solid. Everything can move. We can move time. I mean, I had a great haiku yesterday about how we can move timelines. And the problem is I've got 14 or 40 or 400 different little carnets that I wrote all this stuff in. So trying to find my haikus is, sorry, it's the beauty that comes out of chaos, right? The order that comes out of chaos. Anyway, so I'm grateful to build off the miracles of all the beauty of life. I wish you bounty for this year's harvest in all you have reaped and sowed. After the money, what are the next few ways we together, we are so morphically connected on this planet. We start off mimicking one another. This is how we learn language. We're actually mimicking. We are mimicking. Because if people stopped speaking to kids, kids would probably just develop telepathy. You know, there's a great saying, language is a virus from outer space. The words are so powerful. This is why it's a great idea to read Protonic Speaking. And yes, I've been studying marketing this year, but I don't want to create a flippin' list. I don't care. I just want to do what I want to do and enjoy what I'm doing. And as I keep on enjoying what I'm doing, vibrating from the joy of the crystal in my heart. You know, they say that we have we say that in alchemy, we say that there is uh, the philosophical. I don't, I studied this stuff in French, so it's la pierre philosophale. Okay, la pierre philosophale, the philosopher's stone. That's it. In English, it's called the philosopher's stone. The way I look at the philosopher's stone is it's a crystal in the heart. A crystal in the heart. Now, if it's a crystal in the heart, because of the way that we live, hey, I've got some crystals here that I've actually chipped. I have busted up. I mean, I've busted off little pieces of a couple of really cool crystals that I have. And it's a bummer, but it is what it is. It's still a crystal. And our heart, because people talk about shattering or crushing or breaking someone's heart, that makes sense if there's the crystal inside. Because we do have apparently a crystal inside of our third eye. So could there be a crystal in the heart? Could that crystal envelop us somehow? Could it be the Merkaba? Who knows? But when we get to the point, breathe out. When we get to the point of realizing that there's way more to us, there is way more to us than this silly little or fun little meat suit, the matter that we're running around in, this little sheath, this little borrowed body, what I like to call a borrowed body in my book called Rad Self. Anyway, whatever really is going on, there's so much more, and we are interconnected. And this interconnection, this collectivity, l'esprit du corps, somehow is what I use the main term of morphic. We start off by mimicking each other. We still mimic one another. And then, of course, that will tend to spread morphically. So when a couple people, you know, come together, if other people start to imitate, or if those people's energy fields that mix, that create some sort of little braid, branches out or bridges off, branches out or bridges off, together we branch off, we bridge out, and we connect with one another. And we connect through several means. One of them is going into the heart by feeling into our heart, breathing into our heart, enjoying the stillness of the steady rhythm of the beats of our heart. We can come out and listen to the elements, see the others, and realize that, yes, we are all somehow fortunately in this together. So remember the famous united we stand? Well, let's concentrate just on the first half of that phrase. Let's slow down. Let's get to smaller pieces of this amazing mosaic of the world. And let's start look at the individual pieces, because we really do all need one another. We need each other. And in my eyes, more importantly, we need each other to be, sorry, I wanted to capture the screenshot because they're very beautiful numbers that just showed up. Anyway, what I would like for us to do is to somehow start thinking of unity, breathing, not necessarily in unison, which is a great idea. If we can breathe in unison, wow, that's an amazing way to go. But if we could just start to enjoy more of what is, we'll understand that we're all on our little path and our journey, and we each have a different way of being on our individual path and our collective journey. So, if we could somehow start thinking unity, be in unison somehow, understanding that morphically we're all connected. that we mimic one another, that we need each other. I mean, I had a really cool, I don't know if I can, yeah. So I'll leave you with this haiku, I think. Some special snowflakes forget we need the others to become unique. We need one another, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, I was starting to say, in my eyes, the way we really need each other is we need each other collectively and individually. We need you to be you and me to be me. I need to be a poet to be able to inspire, for example, some of the rich people to get off just making money and get back to, hey, we need each other, and we need art, and we need poetry, and we need music, good music. We need a lot more of the healthy stuff in our food. We know all the stuff that we need, and now is a great time to do it. Let me read that one again. Some special snowflakes forget we need the others to become unique. I started a blog in 2016. I put up 200 of my haikus on a blockchain blog back in 2016. But I just restart again with Instagram, and it's called Gaia's Cafe. Gaia, our beautiful earth, her name is Gaia. Gaia's Cafe on Instagram. You can find, I've been putting up a haiku per day. Anyway, I'm Ravi. Thank you, and be the gift. Be the gift. I'm Ravi.